Welcome into the Cowboys Report. I am your host, Tom Downey, here to break down the 7-round fan-led Cowboys mock draft that went down on our most recent Dallas Cowboys Report live video. Every single draft pick was made by the fans during that show. Unsurprisingly, there was a heavy focus on the defensive side of the ball, and we also allowed, at least for the first-round pick, the option to trade down in the first round. Patrick Surtain, he went off the board before the number 10 overall pick. And the Arizona Cardinals called and said, hey, we'll give you a first and a second for your first and a fourth rounder. Left it up to the fans, and they said no. They did not want to trade down, so instead they took Jaycee Horn with the number 10 overall pick. No Patrick Surtain. Rashawn Slater was there. They went to fill the biggest need with a player the Cowboys could very well select, maybe even over Patrick Surtain, with the number 10 overall pick. Horn this past year was awesome for South Carolina. Had the same number of interceptions and pass breakups as he had catches allowed. That is profoundly rare. Allowed some touchdowns, but hey, red zone stuff tends to happen. I would be fine if the Cowboys took Horn in round 1 because they need a cornerback and they need somebody with some attitude, and that is what Jaycee Horn brings in spades. He, Trevon Diggs, Anthony Brown, Jordan Lewis, that's a pretty good start. A young start, a still needing development start, but a good one at the cornerback position. So Horn was the pick at number 10. Do you guys like it? Those of you who maybe didn't win your vote or did not watch the live show. Do you like Horn at number 10? Get your votes in for me. Type in Y for yes you do or N for no you don't. In round 2, with the safeties off the board and Trevon Merrick and Richie Grant, the fans went with Carlos Basham, a.k.a. Boogie Basham, elite name right there. Very athletic, very productive. In what I consider a very muddled class in terms of the edge rushers. The guy you get at, let's say, pick 25 isn't going to be that different from the guy you could get at pick 55. Basham is in that group for me. He has a round 2 grade. You see the stats there. 3 years of pretty solid production. He offers outside and inside flexibility. So on some base downs, it could be DeMarcus Lawrence and Carlos Basham on the edges. In passing downs, you could bring Randy Gregory in and allow Basham to rush more from the interior. I like his fit a lot with the Dallas Cowboys. Of the guys who were left on the board in round 2, Basham is the route that I would have gone. So 2 defensive picks early, which certainly make plenty of sense. Of course, it is nearly impossible to guess who will actually be on the board as we get further and along into the NFL draft. The only way to know is to watch the NFL draft. And Chat Sports will be live for every single pick across all 3 days and both pre- and post-draft coverage. So join us for it. Hit that big red button by going to subscribe at youtube.com/chatsportstv. I will make sure that link to make your lives easier is in the comment section and in the description. A bit of a surprise for me in round 3. Nick Bolton was there, and this one did not take very long. Very clear immediately. This is who the fans wanted. 2 years of strong production at Missouri. Now, he was good in coverage last year for the Tigers. There are some athletic and length concerns there, but I thought the film was worthy of being a round 2 pick. I think there is an outside chance he does slide to Dallas in round 3, but I'd consider him at pick number 44 if we're being honest. With uncertainty around the futures of Keanu Neal and Jaylon Smith and Leighton Vander Esch after this year, probably want a long-term starter. And in the short term, given injury history for LVE, you probably want some more depth beyond the Luke Giffords and Francis Bernards of the world, so I like that move by the fans. Tommy Togiai, also a fun name to say, was the pick in round 3, number 99 overall. Only 3 sacks this year, but a ton of pressures. I think he is going to be a good rotation piece at maybe either 3 technique or 1 technique. Played plenty of nose guard for Ohio State, but between Neville Gallimore, Tristan Hill, Togiai, Antoine Woods, still in that conversation, Brett Urban as well. There are pieces that can form a decent enough rotation, even without a big-time splash player on the defensive line. And there was some discussion during the live show as to which was the bigger need. So get your votes in for me. What's more important to you guys? Is it defensive tackle or is it linebacker? Get your votes in. Pretty simple here. DT for defensive tackle, or LB for linebacker. To round 4, the Cowboys got themselves a safety after a bunch went off the board before the Cowboys really could take them. Andre Cisco definitely fits the mold of a rangy, single-high free safety. Now, he is coming off a torn ACL in October. How that medical process is going will impact his draft status. But if you want a playmaker in the back end, that is Andre Cisco. 24 career games, averaged over a combined pass breakup or interception in that time frame. 14 pass breakups, 13 interceptions. Now, there are plenty of moments on tape in which Cisco gets too aggressive and takes himself out of the play, but maybe you can dial it back a little bit. In general, I would rather have someone I need to rein in than someone I need to ramp up. And Cisco has the natural playmaking ability that teams covet and that they want. Damontae Kazee could start in year 1, and then the Cowboys could make the move to Cisco maybe in year 2 or even in the middle of year 1, depending on how that rehab goes. But if you want playmaking in the back end, Donovan Wilson and Andre Cisco, well, they do provide it. After 5 straight picks on defense, Jaylon Moore was the first offensive lineman out of Western Michigan. I finished my film eval of him. I have a 4th-round grade. Day 3 sleeper on the offensive line. He was a left tackle at Western Michigan. I could see a scenario in which he kicks inside to guard. I do think he needs a year, someone you're trying to develop and see if he could maybe become a swing tackle or a starter for you down the road potentially. He needs work on technique, needs work on power. The Cowboys' offensive line is already pretty heavy at the tackle position between Tyron Smith and Lael Collins and Ty Nsekhe, Brandon Knight, Terrence Steele. But if you're trying to develop somebody to be a future swing tackle or a starting tackle, maybe it does make sense to try and take somebody who also could offer some guard flex if needed. That is Jaylon Moore out of Western Michigan. Round 5, and what a fall from grace for Marvin Wilson. Now, I think he goes before this, but I would jump all over him in the 5th round. He took a step back significantly from 2019 to 2020. The stats bear that out. Marvin Wilson was not healthy. His knees are of a major concern to me from a medical perspective. Lots of red flags there. He has had some bad weight on him, and he looked like a shell of the guy we saw early in his career. Can I recapture that form? If so, I'm intrigued. Otherwise, I'd rather look somewhere else in what admittedly is a not great defensive line class. But in round 5, heck yeah, sign me up. Heck, I take him a good 50 picks earlier. So what round would you guys draft Marvin Wilson? Some people still have a round 2 grade on him, people I know and trust. Others, they got like round 4, round 5. So let me know in the comments, what round would you guys draft Marvin Wilson? Round 6, all the way down, pick number 192, DAZZ NEWSOME, who is a slot player in the NFL. Now, he's good after the catch, at least at the college ranks. He does not have the athletic juice that you want in the NFL. That's why he's here in round 6. But with, in reality, some special teams question marks, maybe you don't want CeeDee Lamb as your punt guy, DAZZ NEWSOME can fill that role. And, of course, Michael Gallup, Cedric Wilson, Noah Brown, they all have 1 year left on their contract. So maybe you'd let DAZZ NEWSOME and or Cedric Wilson compete to be that wide receiver 4-5-ish and offer you your backup punt return guy. Winner makes the team, loser, maybe they even end up getting cut. But day 3, no problems drafting a potential piece for you at receiver. Jaycee Horn went round 1, and his teammate, Israel MUKUAMU, went in round 6. Now, he's kind of a tweener for me. Not quite a perfect fit at free safety, not quite a perfect fit at corner. Maybe a little bit like Jaron Kearse, who the Cowboys signed. I think I'd try him at safety before I put him at corner, but I'm open to flexibility there. Maybe you bulk him up a little bit, and maybe you try to turn him into a potential tight end eraser, something this team has needed for a very, very long time, especially once Byron Jones moved to corner. Then in round 7, Ian Book, who is going to be a potential backup quarterback in the NFL. I got a round 7 grade on him. This is about the right spot. He's a good athlete. He can make plays in the pocket and outside the pocket as well. does tend to panic and bail too often. The arm is not great. The accuracy can come and go. He's not going to be a starter for you. But is he better than Ben DiNucci? Yeah, probably. And with Garrett Gilbert and the Nooch, the only guys on the roster behind Dak Prescott, I don't mind spending a day 3 pick on a potential backup quarterback who, like if Dak goes down, things are bad, but at least it's fun to have somebody in that area as it relates to a future backup option behind Dak Prescott. So let's recap then, in case you guys weren't paying attention for some odd reason. Jaycee Horn in round 1, Boogie Basham in round 2, Nick Bolton in round 3, Tommy Togiai in round 3 as well. Cisco rounds out 5 straight defensive picks in this fan-led Cowboys mock draft. Jaylon Moore goes in round 4. Marvin Wilson in round 5. I like that pick quite a bit. DAZZ NEWSOME in the 6th. Israel MUKUAMU in the 6th as well. And then Ian Book rounds things out in the 7th round. So before we go, grade the fan-led mock draft for me. A, B, C, D, or F. I will always tell you guys how I think it is. I thought you guys did a great job. It maybe not quite a full-fledged A+, since some of you guys don't want Jaycee Horn, but that's at least an A-. If you could promise me that draft haul coming out of the NFL draft, I'd be hyped almost as much as I was last year. But let me know what you guys think in the comments section.